A Leeds United based sponsorship on the channel. Now guys, before we start this, I wanted to let you know I went to these guys to sponsor the channel because I've bought so many of their things over the past couple of months for family members, for friends. It's literally ideal for gifts. It is teamwallart.com. These guys specialise in metal plaques, but it's Leeds United based plaques as well. These are the three that I bought recently. The Marcelo Bielsa one, I absolutely love that. I've had that hung on my wall for a while now. We've had the Champions one, and the detail in this is absolutely insane. The link is in the description below if you want to check them out. And this one in particular, accused of everything, guilty of nothing. You know it's true. Since 1919, you can get this one for $5.99 if you buy another plaque for $7.99. Guys, go check it out. Worldwide delivery, many designs available. And as I said, the link is in the description. Go check it out. Hello everybody, I hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here with a Sunday upload, an unusual Sunday upload. Normally I'm either working or doing something else, but I hope you're all doing fantastically well. I hope you're not all so downtrodden by the Tottenham result yesterday and you're having a good weekend with your family and your friends. And we are back here with the return of the rumour mill. It's been a while. And yeah, we're back. It's not going to be every single day, unfortunately. I think the perfect part for the rumour mill is the summer months. And the reason behind that is because there's no games. We can just fixate on June, July, August, whenever it is. And we can just talk about transfers and not football games. We have weekly content, football games to get out to you guys, videos, so it's not going to be an everyday thing. I think it's probably going to be an every week thing, summarising exactly what's gone on with Leeds United during that former week that we've just gone through. So potentially every Saturday or Sunday upload, who knows? But as I say, get your comments in. Lewis, the rumour mill is back. It has been a while. It's been a long while. And that's when you know it's a good Sunday afternoon. Hey up, Richard. Let's have a look at what everyone's saying. The rumour mill is back, says Theodore. I think genuinely this is my most popular video, even with the reviews, the previews. Everyone seems to love the rumour mill. I'm not really sure why, but they do, which is great. Adam Wedgwood sorting. I need him as my PA, sorting my schedule out. I think one a week, Connor, maybe two if you have the time. I'll try my best, mate. I'll try my best. Give us that beautiful waffle, Connor. I'm ready to provide you with that potato waffle for the next 20 minutes. So, what's going on then? What's going on with Leeds United? Is anything going on, you ask me? Well, I guess I'm in a bit of a better position to get the inside scoop with my current job at this moment in time, which I wasn't in that position last time the rumour mill was going on. But what we're going to talk about today is who you want, who I think we should be getting in this summer and this January window, and who do we think is realistic? Realistic is the word that I want to just hang on the mantelpiece for this month's rumour mill, because realism is what we need to be looking at. You know, not Erling Haaland, not players of that ilk. We need to be looking at what Leeds United need, where we are in the table, and what could get us into that solidified position, which we are now, but that is going to, consolidate Premier League status. So yeah, I'm loving all your comments in. Easy, Connor. The rumour mill is back. Haaland, there we go. The Haaland comment straight away. Divock Origi could be a good shout, to be fair. Messi, says Derek. I think it's a realistic shout. So with no further ado, we've done all the waffle. Let's get into some of the rumours that are going on today with the ins and outs of Leeds United. So number one, and this is going to be a bit of a controversial one, but it's an interesting one, and it is a link via Leeds Live. So let's see. According to the Sun, Tottenham are now interested in signing West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper and reported Leeds United target Sam Johnston. The same outlet reported that recently Johnston is being watched by the Whites as well as Premier League rivals Brighton Hove Albion. Now it appears a three-way battle for the Baggies goalkeeper, who has been in fine form at the Hawthorns this season. As things stand, Bielsa has Ilan Melia, who's been impressive in between the posts in the early stage of the campaign. And why I think this is interesting is because it was only yesterday we were talking about experience within the sticks and experience helping Ilan Melia out. And Johnston does have a sort of considerable amount of experience. But for me, This one is a little bit of a dead rubber. Do I rate Sam Johnstone? Highly. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper and someone who's going to have he's had a good career so far. He's going to have a better career going forward. I could see someone in the future like Leicester picking him up. I think he's that good of a goalkeeper. So would I have him at Leeds? 100%. But I just think at this moment in time, if you are to get an experienced head in, it's someone who's at the end of their career. As I said yesterday, a little bit like when we got Rob Green for Leeds United. I can't really go see us going out and buying someone like Sam Johnstone, who's at the peak of his powers right now, a superb goalkeeper, someone who I would like, but I just can't see Leeds United getting Sam Johnstone. Let me know out of 10 that rumour. We're going to bring in an out of 10, a ratings out of 10 on that rumour. What do you think? I'm probably going to give that, if I'm clocking that on a rumour. I do think Leeds would have interest in him. Do I think Marcelo Bielsa's going to go out and request that we get Sam Johnstone? No. So I'm going to give that rumour a 4 out of 10. Let me know. We've got a 7. Daniel Vargas coming in with a 9. Remember, this is the likelihood of the rumour actually happening. Really nice one here from Eddie, just Fikayo Tomori. That has gone a little bit quiet, and I think it's just been since we've seen the consistency of Pascal Struijk and Luke Ayling probably emerging as a centre-back has probably been, it's sent west. The centre-back rumours, obviously, coming back at some point. Llorente featuring very soon. Liam Cooper. We really have probably got about 5 or 6 centre-backs or versatile centre-backs within the squad. Roberts, we're going to get on to Tyler Roberts, so stay tuned for that towards the end of the rumour mill. RDP, my man, he's back. The thing that was the start of the rumour mill. Rodrigo de Paul. God, he was on every single thumbnail, wasn't he? Elise from Reading. Nothing from Phil Hay yet, which is a key point. Nothing from Phil Hay. I don't want people to log on here and think that I'm giving you breaking news. As I used to say in the summer, it is the rumour mill. So yeah. Let's see what else is going on with Leeds United at this moment in time then. Now, there's been a lot of rumours around this man here. He was sort of bubbling in the summer as well. Julian Draxler. Now, Draxler's contract is expiring at some point. I believe it is now, actually. I think his contract is expiring. So there are going to be a lot of clubs after him. We spoke in the summer months about Leeds being interested in him. Apparently, there was a lot of sort of talk about, from French outlets, talking about Leeds' interest, getting in contact with the agents. Apparently, Leeds were inquiring about him as well. We covered it in the summer months. And this is the key thing, guys. Just because it doesn't come from Leeds United's informed outlets doesn't mean that it's not a plausible link. Leeds will get in contact with agents. Leeds will inquire about certain individuals. And that's what the rumour mill is all about. If we can get those sort of rumours, talk about it. Julian Draxler. Now, where would he fit into this Leeds United side? Obviously, he'd have to indoctrinate himself into the Marcelo Bielsa way, which takes a solid 6 weeks. And he's not been in that process before. He's not been playing regularly for PSG, so would he be the player to come in and improve this Leeds United side? We saw the bench yesterday, 5 children on the bench, and this is one thing that I have to enforce, that Leeds United need a stronger bench. We need people who can come on and change games. It can't just be reliant on a 35-year-old man who is brilliant. He's exquisite. He changes things. He gives us more control in Pablo Hernandez, but can we be that reliant on this man for the next 6 months, or do Leeds need more bodies on the bench? And even if Julian Draxler was to come in to Leeds United, he would probably feature on the bench heavily, but that is a player who could come on and really change games for Leeds United. I think at the start he would be a bench player, but Julian Draxler, guys, get your ratings in the comment section below. I would go, that's probably a little bit higher than the last one, just because he's out of contract. I'd probably we'll go with a 5 for that one. We'll go with a 5, but get your ratings in the section below. Drax would be a class player to get hold of. Claudio, Draxler's salary would be a worry. I mean, this was the eventuality with players like Emiliano Martinez, who went to Aston Villa, and Romero, who I believe is coming to the end of his contract as well. Someone who I would love for Leeds to go and get at Manchester United. But these are the wages which top-class players are going to want. But if Leeds are getting into that remit of going and getting world-class players, you're going to have to pay that money, really, aren't you, in terms of wages? And I'm sure the board will be very aware of that. No to Draxler said cycling flavoured. Where does he fit in? That's a really good point. You know, where is Julian Draxler going to fit in? He sometimes plays as a little bit of a false nine. He's played as a winger on the right and the left, the centre attacking midfielder. But I think it is just that the physicality of the Premier League. He's never played there before. And is he going to get up to speed and hit those Draxler levels that he has done in the past under Marcelo Bielsa's under his ethos and his pragmatism and his dynamism? Is he going to be on that level? And as Pizarro says, he's on like 325k. I'd be stunned if it was that high, but he's at PSG. You know, PSG are literally one of the richest clubs in the world. Is he going to take an enormous pay cut to come to Leeds United? He might take a pay cut to come to the Premier League, maybe like an Arsenal, but is he going to come to Leeds United, a newly promoted team? Bielsa's probably the factor, as we were talking about in the summer, but I doubt that is going to happen, to be honest. Marcus Rashford, loving the stream, bro. Well, I'm loving your work, my friend. But thank you so much for that. Come on, Mr. Rumour Mill. Josh Slater's back with a bang. Drax is a 10, says John H. Remember, John, this is the likelihood of it happening and the quality of the signing as well. We've got to marry those up with the ratings. Dan Dobbs says, why would you love to get Manchester United third choice goalkeeper? Got Real Madrid and that didn't work out. Well, it's a completely different saga, my friend. Romero has played a lot of games for Manchester United. Kiko Casilla barely played a game for Real Madrid in his 5-6 year tenure at the club. Romero, when he's come in for Manchester United in Europa League games, when he's come in for cup competitions, he's been absolutely brilliant, and a lot of Manchester United fans would rate him as sort of the best second and third goalkeeper in the league, potentially in Europe. So if he can come to Leeds United, he may not even start, but he can give the information of a trophy. You know, he's a trophy winning player. Let's bear that in mind. And if he can give off certain pieces of advice to Illan Meslier, a young Illan Meslier, and maybe for them to chop and change positions if Meslier goes out of form, then Romero comes in and Melier's got a little bit of competition there. He has to fight for his place. I think that's a really good scenario. You've got healthy competition and you've got, he's won so much as Romero, and he's played within that Argentinian fabric that Marcelo Bielsa is from as well. So there's a lot of decent links there. Obviously, I'm not saying that Leeds are going in for Romero. Let's see what else is going on anyway. Okay, we've got this from Graham Smythe, and this is one that I wanted to touch on as well. Tyler Roberts is unavailable at the moment, says Marcelo Bielsa. He asked for input on the question from the Leeds media team before answering, and just for a little bit of surmising here, this was yesterday in the press conference after the Tottenham defeat. He was talking to the press about Tyler Roberts, and it was a bit weird. I was actually editing this press conference, and whilst I was editing it, and whilst Bielsa was speaking on the press conference, he turned to his left to almost speak to an advisor. I can't remember. I didn't know who was there because it wasn't in focus. But he turned round and asked the advisor, as soon as he was asked the question about Tyler Roberts, he didn't give a straight answer, and almost said, he didn't say this. It almost looked like he was saying, can I say this? Turned round and said, he's not available at the minute. Now, the telling sign with Tyler Roberts for me will be in the cup game against Crawley, because this is the perfect time for Tyler Roberts to get some minutes under his belt. Will he feature? Is the big question. Will he come on is the secondary question. And if he doesn't, then for me, Tyler Roberts is leaving Leeds United in January, unless he's got COVID, which is a big possibility. But I feel the club will have released that by now. If he did have COVID, we should be releasing that sort of information now. We shouldn't be keeping that by ourselves. And I don't think the club would do that. It's a bit of a PR media nightmare. But I think he will be leaving in January. That's my personal opinion. I think there's a lot of suitors out there. I think you've got Carlos Corberán at Huddersfield Town, where, they're sort of missing a little bit of a striker at the minute. They've got Fraser Campbell. And if someone like him could come in and make a little bit of a difference. Josh Karoma's out at Huddersfield as well, another creative midfielder. Carlos Corberán at Huddersfield Town, I think, is a very, very credible link, in my personal opinion. And if that was the move for Tyler Roberts, I think he needs that move right now. I don't think he gets into this side at all. I wouldn't choose for him to come off the bench as well at this moment in time. If Tyler Roberts was to come off the bench in place of an Ian Poveda or a Pablo Hernandez in that offensive outlet, that I wouldn't like that. And that's where Tyler Roberts' position is at this moment in time. I think a loan is better for him. If you to say he's been transferred out of the club, I really like Tyler Roberts, but if we're to get a bit of money for him, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I really wouldn't. Let me know what you guys think. I think I'm going to give that rumour a 9. I think Tyler Roberts could be leaving Leeds United in January. I really do. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. What rating you would give that? Your opinion on Tyler Roberts' development within this squad at the minute. It's really interesting topic of conversation. It has to be a loan deal, says Liam Sharples. Leaving on loan. Loan again, says Mick. So we'll get this back up again just to go through exactly what was said with this. Marcelo Bielsa's response to the Roberts question was simply that the Wales international is currently unavailable. Graham Smythe comments that Bielsa needs input from his media team before answering. And this is what I was talking about, guys. He needed a sort of a bit of advice from his media team whilst I was editing the video, and Graham Smythe is reporting the same thing. Now, with the January transfer window open, Leeds could be looking to find Roberts a new destination, on loan or even a potential permanent deal. A loan to the Championship is something that most fans have been hoping for when it comes to Roberts. From what we've seen, Roberts has the potential to play in the Premier League and lead the line for the Whites in the future, but he needs game time more than anything right now, and he's not getting it. Derby County will link to Roberts late on in the summer transfer window, while under former blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but that was a credible link. I can tell you that Derby were interested, and they did put an inquiry to the club about Tyler Roberts. So who knows? But that rumour is a very, very strong one about the outs of Leeds United in terms of what goes on there. Bielsa will only want a player who can play multiple positions. I think Roberts is more of a winger than a striker. I think he's better than Costa. I mean, the best I saw of Tyler Roberts was against Aston Villa in the Championship when he actually played on the wing and he cut inside on his right foot and he was brilliant in that game. We didn't play him on that side, that left-hand side, often enough because he's got a very good dribbling output as Tyler Roberts. Very impressive statistics when it comes to dribbling, but Leeds just kept on playing him central attacking midfield or up front, and I think his trickery, his delivery, I think would be utilised very, very well on the left, and I think a loan to the Championship would exploit that, but it'll be really interesting to see what would happen there. Vincent Kemp saying Roberts should leave permanently. Christopher Clay coming in and saying Roberts is still young, alone is the best. 9, says Joe Barber. I'd probably take the cash, to be honest, if we could bring in a better player. And that's a really good point from Joe there, because if Leeds do get rid of Tyler Roberts, there has to be another player coming in for me, because we've got, it's a thin squad at the moment anyway. What I would say is if Tyler Roberts did go out, I would love to see Joe Gelhardt been moved on the bench more permanently, you know, and I'd be happy to that. I wouldn't be adverse to that. That's absolutely fine. I really like Joe Gelhardt. His output for me is better than Tyler Roberts technically, and that would be good to see. But yeah, really interesting to see. Theodore, I think it could be a loan, but I think it could be a loan to a permanent. I would say 9 out of 10. Tyler will definitely go. Can't see him getting a game even from the bench. So yeah, some really interesting sort of ratings there. Good shout, Connor. Roberts, our permanent RDP. Yeah, goodness me. Eddie Dwight, Gale, or Daniel Sturridge, or Vidra. Not for me. I don't think they'd fit into that system, my friend. Do I think we'll buy someone? I do. I've got a funny feeling about this window. I've got a funny feeling about it. And I think it's because of Marcelo Bielsa's comments. Marcelo Bielsa has come out and said he's not said no, which I think is a big thing, Bielsa, because we've heard him say no before. He's come out and said that if they can improve the squad, we will bring someone in. And if there is the opportunity, and I do think there's the opportunity for players in this window, I think a lot of clubs will want to be getting rid of certain players to get them off the wage bill. The coronavirus pandemic has caused a lot of clubs to go in economic crisis across Europe. And I think there's going to be an opportunity to get some really good players for some really good value in this window. It's not a normal January window, this. This is not a normal January window. I think we're going to be getting some very, very good players going to the Championship to get some game time, even on permanence. And I think there are going to be some very, very good players across Europe going to teams for a lot less than they would go in any other circumstance outside the coronavirus. That's my personal point of view anyway. Jordan says we need a central midfielder, and I think that's a really good little piece which we're gonna get onto. German, sorry mate, Munoz, any South American players a possibility? I think so, and we're gonna get onto that in a little bit. So what have we got here on the chat now? This is one that I wanted to talk about as well, and this is the title of the video, sort of Pulgar from Fiorentina. We spoke about him on the rumour mill in the summer months, and we spoke about what he would bring to this Leeds United side in terms of solidity in that central midfield role. He's a defensive midfielder. He's a central midfielder. He creates so many chances. His pass percentage is off the charts. If you look at Y-Scout, Who Scored, wherever you want to look, he's a very, very good player, highly rated, 26 years old. 26, Chilean international, obviously. He's got that link with Marcelo Bielsa there from South America. A lot of people really rave on about this kid, and apparently Leeds were very interested in the summer months. Italian news sources have claimed that Leeds United have made inquiries over Fiorentina duo Christian Kouame and Erick Pulgar in the January transfer window. La Nazione leads the claims of Leeds United's interest in the Fiorentina duo, with loan-to-buy deals being discussed with a concrete offer on the table as of yet. Pulgar is a player that some Leeds fans will be already aware of, with the Chilean being linked with the Whites in the summer. You can see James Marshman there talking about Carrere, Fiorentina and La Nazione. Leeds have contacted Fiorentina over potential January deals for Chilean midfielder Erick Pulgar and Christian Kouame, an Ivorian striker. So yeah, 13.5 million bid was supposedly made in the summer for Pulgar, but it all went quiet soon after the news. And I think it was going sort of to and from with Pulgar for quite a while. And I think it was sort of dependent on what was happening with RDP, what was happening with Cuisance, forgot his name there. And Leeds sort of moved on to Cuisance a little bit later on. And I think that's because probably going forward, Cuisance's output is a little bit more of an 8. You know, it's somebody who can challenge Click a little bit more. Pulgar is more of a defensive midfielder, but he's very, very good. He's a very good player. I sort of watched him come on the field he played about 40 minutes for Fiorentina when they beat Juventus 3-0 away, and he was just superb, keeping the ball, very good. You could see how he would fit into this Leeds United side, and I think we need a player who's going to help us in that defensive output. Maybe in certain games we can transition to another 6 instead of having sort of 2 8s on the field. You know, if Leeds are managing a game, and I think we need the personnel to manage a game. You know, if we are winning the game and we can bring Rodrigo off, who literally is like having another striker on the pitch, and bring on someone who defensively is absolutely superb in Pulgar, who can sit alongside Calvin Phillips and really break up play, Leeds will be able to manage games better against Leicester, against Wolves, against Palace, or even if we're able to start Pulgar because he can create chances and his pass percentage is so high. So I do think with this Pulgar link, I'm going to put it as a 7.5 at this moment in time. Get your comments in the section below, guys, of what you think. I think 13.5 million is a very good fee for Leeds United. I think potentially we could get it lower with the economic crisis which is going on with the pandemic at the minute. And Pulgar is not playing for Fiorentina from moment one. He's not playing for them really regularly. He's coming on as a substitute, but I think Leeds United could get this one. We could get this one underway, and obviously with him being a Chilean as well, there's another sort of tick there. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. We've got an 8 from Daniel Vargas, 9 from Mark, 8 from Sam. Claudio says 7, 8 from Gamer Guy. So there's a lot of people who are talking about, watch Pulgar in the Copa America 2019 for Chile. I believe Daniel Vargas, I've seen him on the channel before, is from sort of South America. Pulgar, once again, German. I presume you are Munoz from that region. Pulgar is technical and physical, will be a good fit for Leeds. I think it's imperative that Leeds United get a central midfielder in. I think it really is, because it means we can vary our system. Bielsa has varied his system before, working at Marseille. He's done it with Chile as well. And I think by doing that, it gives Leeds a lot more firepower in the second half of the season. We've got quality off the bench, and I honestly think we could do something in this window. I really do. And I think just because of the value of players, we'll be down for the quality that we'll get. Adil coming in with 9. Jordan says a 6. Lewis 9.5. I think we've gone over what Archie has said. 69 music with a 69. And I think we saw with the Michael Cuisance being in the building with Leeds United, going through a medical before we even signed and looked at Rafinha. We knew that Click needed competition in that space, and Pulgar brings a lot more variety to his game than Cuisance did. As I said, he's probably a little bit more defensive than attacking, but his pass percentage, how good he is at actually creating chances from his position is pretty exquisite. And yeah, I think that it could be a really good acquisition there for Leeds United. Stephen Stables, big fan of the channel. Hi, Connor. Hope you're doing fantastically well, my friend. Gamer guy Ethan says, Connor, do you think we need a left back? I do. I think we need a left back. Do I think it's realistic in this window? Potentially. You know, I knew in the summer we were linked to Jordan Lukaku. Apparently Leeds were very interested in Jordan Lukaku. I'd like that one to come in. I think he'd fit really nicely into this Leeds system. A lot of people were talking about Benjamin Mendy on loan. I don't think that's going to happen, to be quite honest with you. But that would probably be the secondary option for me. We've got central midfielder. The secondary option would be a left back. French League is ripe for the picking, and I think we'll be doing a lot of pieces on Leeds United Live. If you want to tune in about how this window is going to be very, very advantageous for many clubs in many divisions for the value of player. Connor, do you think we need another striker? Says James Redmond. Yeah, probably. But I don't think it's on the list of what I would hope for. I really don't. I think Ollie Coulson here, Zinchenko, I think that's a really nice one. Zinchenko would be a good buy. I think he's available as well. A lot of people talking about Forshaw as well, potentially selling him. Sorry, I think Leicester are about to score a goal. No, they're not. Okay, so Christian Kwame as well. You know, we're all talking about a striker. Kwame is a striker with a lot of potential, but needs to find his goal-scoring instinct again. And how many times have we seen this with Leeds? And find consistency in scoring goals. The season has been a first chance in his career to be a consistent starter in Serie A. He's had a tough time so far. We know that Bielsa can get the best out of players who are willing to work hard, and Kwame's ceiling is pretty high, judging from what we've seen. Now, this is a player for Fiorentina who is rated extremely highly. He's not really got to that levels yet, which makes me think of Ekuban at Chievo when we signed him, and all those rumours going about Ekuban having such a high ceiling. So this could be one. He's very versatile across the front three. Could come in as a secondary striker. I think that's the big thing we've all got to bear in mind, that if a striker does come into Leeds United, it's going to be a secondary striker to the prolific at this moment in time, Patrick Bamford. So someone like Kouame could be something that Leeds sort of go for. And as I keep saying, sorry for getting this off and on, but Leeds United are going to have good value for players in this window. He can play along the front three and could be another reason for Leeds to target him, with Helder Costa struggling to provide competition to the team since Rafinha. The starting 11 recently. The Whites have some exciting prospects up front already with Greenwood and Joe Gelhardt. Another exciting talent would be Kouame. So get that one in the section below, guys. Would you see that one coming in? I don't really see the point in Leeds investing in youngsters for someone like Kouame to come in. He's 21 years old. What's the point in getting Greenwood or Gelhardt if we're going to bring someone like him in? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm probably going to give that one a 3. I don't think Kouame is someone who Leeds would be looking at, to be quite frank. It might be someone who have inquired about in terms of a player coming in. Might have inquired about his price if he was to be a £2 or £3 million signing. You know, someone for the youth development, but I don't think so. James Redmond, great work on the channel, Connor. Love the very informative content. I've kind of read that the wrong way around. Match on together. Thank you so much. And guys, I love the fact that you're all tuning in on a Sunday when you can be with your families. 350 of you watching now. It'd be great if you could just like this content. It's just so I know that you enjoy it. I think you enjoy the rumour mill, but if you want the consistency of this, I sort of need to know that you like it. And if you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. 1, 2, 4 says Ideal Cycling. Flavor says 0. Mark Jepson says 0. I'm probably veering over to that, to be honest. Daniel says 4. Gamer guy Ethan with 4, 6, 3. Tom Wensley coming in with, is White a possibility? I don't think so, my friend. I really don't. Hello, Connor. Brilliant coming here and sharing us with your thoughts. Look, I really believe in an experienced goalkeeper. Love Melee for the future, but not now. He's making too many mistakes. There's a lot of validity to what you're saying there, mate. And that's why it's sort of a shout of someone like Romero. I think it'd be a really good shout. Because if Melee's having a bit of a sticky patch, I think Romero would be what an acquisition he would be. Ruben, thank you so much. Watching from Texas, brilliant, love that. What about Puig, or as I used to say, I hate saying this guy's name because I always get it wrong. So I'm just going to call him Ricky Puig. That's what I'm going to say. Another really likely one there. There's not been a lot on the rumour mill about Ricky at this moment in time. So we'll have to wait and see with that one. There's been a lot more rumours about other people. So we'll just get on with that. Guys, as well, if I don't read your comments out, please don't be offended. I'm genuinely not ignoring you. It's very difficult when there are so many opinions coming in. So thank you so much. Keep getting your comments in. I'd like you to discuss it with each other as well. I think that's a really nice sort of community vibe. What have we got here as well? So Nicolo Shearer, who sometimes is pretty decent with transfers, to be fair to him, an Italian journalist. Leeds have shown interest for Erick Pulgar. Open talks with his agent, Fernando Felicevic. Fiorentina asked 15 million, and that's what we were talking about before, at least to sell him. And then the Adelaide, who is a really good Twitter account, has come and sort of screenshotted something here on Pulgar's technicalities. Pulgar is primarily a defensive midfielder that is very good on the ball as he is off it. Scout rank him as the best defensive midfielder in Serie A this season. He's created an impressive 81 chances in Serie A, which puts him among the best chance creators in Europe, while his key passes per match, 2.2, is enough to put him in the top 20 in Europe's top 5 leagues, according to Who Scored. Both of these stats are boosted by his delivery from set pieces, which is another sort of branch to his tree, really. Great from set pieces, and I believe that was from last season when he was 25 years old and sort of ripping it up. So I don't really not know what's gone on with him at Fiorentina. If you are Italian, if you are part of that sphere, you can let me know what's gone on there. But it seems like his output was absolutely staggering last year, and it's changed a little bit this year. So yeah, a lot of good comments on that, and a lot of people are talking about Kiko as well in terms of his wage has been horrendously high, and they are. So I think if Leeds were to get an experienced head in January in that goalkeeper position, they would have to get rid of Kiko Casilla. Rumours of swapping Roberts with Cooker on Twitter, Connor. I probably wouldn't be opposed to that, but I'd like to go for upper quality, like Pulgar, instead of Lewis Cook, to be quite honest. João Palhinha, I haven't heard anything on João Palhinha actually, but I have seen that going around on the social media. Daniel Vargas as well coming on here and saying, watching from Valparaiso, Chile, haven't missed a minute from Leeds in the Prem. Great season so far. Thank you so much. So let's see what else is going on here. We've spoken about Kwame, haven't we? And this is just a few more stats on Pulgar. The Chilean international struggled for some substantial minutes this season, which is what we've just said, making only 10 appearances, playing 5 matches worth of minutes, therefore is yet to register a goal or assist this season in Serie A. And I think that's a big sort of point to take into account with regards to him getting up to speed with Bielsa. But once again, it would absolutely bulk out that quality on the bench. However, Pulgar had an impressive couple of seasons for Fiorentina and Bologna before the 2021 campaign, scoring 7 and assisting 6 last season, following his 6 goals and 2 assists in 18-19, which earned his 9 million move to Fiorentina. So that value for money would really be there then. And when you look at Who Scored as well and his characteristics, look at that. Significant weaknesses, nowhere. Taking set pieces, very, very strong, which a lot of people are talking about. Key pass is very strong from that position, is absolutely perfect as well. Ball interception, which sometimes when the opposition are marauding through our midfield and battering our midfield, which I think does happen quite a lot in terms of physicality, athleticism and prowess, I think someone like Pulgar, if he's able to help and intercept and break up play, would be a fantastic acquisition. And look below that, guys, concentration. And how many times do we talk about that with Leeds? We saw it a lot yesterday, concentration and focus going, out the window a little bit. And that's what that elite player brings you, focus and concentration. And we've spoken about Johnston as well, guys. So listen, I think that's it really for the rumour mill today. We're going to be surmising it again very, very soon. Don't worry. If you do enjoy it, I'll try and make it a more regular thing. I enjoy talking about rumours with you guys. I enjoy talking about the analytics and statistical side of how players could fit into this Marcelo Bielsa blueprint. So yeah, let me know exactly what you think on it, guys. Please carry on commenting in the section below. Keep rating the rumours. Tell me what you think of Johnston out of 10, Pulgar out of 10, Kwame out of 10. Let me know, would you like their worth? Would you like them in this side? Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.